good that I have a list, though.
Why do you need a list to remember their name?
Let's not talk about this. Let's not talk about this.
I'm so glad Simba shut that conversation down because I refuse to go back to that rage bait ass episode we had a few weeks ago. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island UK season 13 episode 47. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We got one more week, folks. One more week and a day. I'm so glad Family Day is coming on Sunday because I'm bored. Like, I'm not like bored, but you can tell we're at the point of the season where like nothing else is really happening. There's a guy here who literally doesn't have a connection. Yeah, it's time to wrap it up. On to the episode. It starts with Aiden and Jasmine having a conversation. He says, listen, I'm in full support of your relationship.
Stand by you and Cav 100%. I think you do know that.
Yeah, I do.
Go through the worst of times with each other and still be connected and pull through. Yous are the strongest yous have ever been.
Do you think he really likes me?
Of course.
I don't believe that Aiden fully supports this relationship. I think he can see the parts where they're incompatible. And oftentimes, Calvin doesn't help with that. Calvin is in his head a lot. He overthinks a lot. So as a sibling, if you're not sure about something, like, okay, well, what can we do to make you sure? Do you need to take a step back? Do you need to explore other connections? That's what I would be saying to myself. That's what I have said to my sibling. And they're older than me. So sometimes as a sibling, what you say might go against that other person who's in the relationship, but you're looking out for your sibling first. And Calvin just gives kind of lost in the wind sometimes when it comes to Jasmine. So Aiden is going to give his opinion. I think what Aiden is really saying isn't that he supports the relationship. It's that he supports his brother. If my brother is in love with you, then cool. I love you too. As soon as my brother is done with you, then you can go as well. Like, I think that's the true sentiment that he has. Jasmine is not offended by whatever Calvin says. Well, not Calvin, sorry, Aiden. I don't even think it's that she's not offended. She can respect sibling relationships because she has the same. And she can respect the fact that Aiden feels protective over his younger brother because she would feel the same. Because there are things that highlight their incompatibilities. I won't say they're 100% incompatible. It definitely feels like he just doesn't like Jasmine, but he wants to make sure that these two iron out their shit because there's a lot of it. Later on, Calvin and Jasmine have a conversation about the conversation she had with Aiden, and she says, honestly, I respect it. It's not a problem. He's happy because obviously he wants his girl to get along with his family, and this is one part of his family. She says too that it is an advantage to have somebody who's already on her side before she actually gets to meet the whole family, which is also good. It is to be noted, they still haven't addressed this whole I love you thing, feelings not being on the same level. They do eventually, but I just really wish this couple would just get out of their heads. Like, they both struggle with this, and it's like, y'all can talk about anything else but the issues you guys are going through. And if you don't address it, they're just gonna become bigger down the road. In the evening, Priya takes Yulia for a chat because she doesn't wanna be at odds with anybody in the villa.
I apologise if I was abrupt. Really, my heart was with Aiden.
And coming in here so late, it's not easy being a new girl.
Okay,
so
get that.
looking out for like the underdog.
I actually think me and you are really similar.
That's why this happened.
Priya thinks that Yulia was pushing an agenda for Alicia and Aiden to be together. She absolutely was. Yulia says, listen, as a bombshell, well, a bombshell-esque, she was Casa Girl, I do root for the underdog, and I don't think it's fair for new people to come in and not get a proper chance. I do understand that, but like I said before, I believe if somebody tells you, hey, this is where my head's at, just let that be that. Unless they explicitly ask you, what do you think I should do? Leave it alone. Pushing people to make a decision is just odd to me. Now, a part of me wonders, Priya, are you really remorseful? Or have you seen that Yulia is actually accepted by the public and you don't want to be at odds with the people's princess? I don't know. Questions that need answers. Anyways, Priya takes Ethan for a chat and she's like, hey, just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking of going to the hideaway with Ethan. Ethan's like, with Aiden. Ethan said, I don't need to know that. I'm out of the situation. You ain't gotta loop me into anything. And like, I'm glad she's now letting him know because they are still coupled up. But girl, where was this respect beforehand? Like, it's too little little too late. Like, you don't have to run anything by him. But anyways, Priya later has a conversation with Aiden, and they're both like, how did we miss this connection? You were right in front of me the whole time. Maybe because y'all are forcing it, but fine. Whatever. She pitches the hideaway, and he jokingly is like, no, I don't want to go. Why would I go? But eventually he does say yes. Guys, I did not expect them to get up to what they were getting up to in the hideaway. A tent? Why am I seeing a tent? Normally we know what a tent means, guys. Why am I seeing a tent in the hideaway? What's going on? What's going on? I will be honest. When I saw them in the hideaway, like, they really did give friends to lovers type thing. Like, they did. But my brain just refuses to compute. Like, my brain cannot fathom this connection being real. Let's move on before I bust my brain open. In the morning, Priya asks Aiden if he can see things working on the outside. He hesitates. Then he says yes. I don't know, that hesitation was suspicious to me. Simba tells the guys that he had wanted to say I love you to Angelista, but ideally he would have waited. But waiting could have meant that he would leave the villa without having told her that he loves her. Kind of gives strategy. But fine, when you feel it, you should say it. That's what I think. When you feel it, you should say it. Actually, I'm a liar. Guys, sorry, tangent from the show real quick. When Richmond and I were dating, I think this was like 2 months, like these people. We're about 2 months in, and he had already told me that he loved me. I had told everybody but him that I loved him. I told my cousins, I told everybody at my church. I was like, oh yeah, I love him, whatever. And then Richmond, he actually checked me. He was like, you know, you say things that kind of allude to the fact that you love me, but you don't say it. Like, are you getting to that point or what? Like what's going on? Real. He checked me on that. I absolutely felt it way before I actually said it, but I was scared. And I don't feel like I need to say I love you back just because you said it. No, I'm going to say it when I feel it, but I had already felt it. Anyways, so I do hear what Simba's saying. When you feel it, you should just say it and not risk potentially losing the person because you just waited long to say it, you know? So anyways, the guys are in agreement that they're kind of feeling that way. Samrar said he almost said I love you to Mika. Interesting. Tommy basically alludes to the fact that he wants to say it. He doesn't say anything, but he laughs and runs away. So the assumption is that he also loves Yasmin. Both Priya and Aiden are keeping it cute about the hideaway. They're saying that all they did in the hideaway was talk. It looked like more than talking, but they're deciding to keep that information to themselves. I wonder why that is, but I kind of respect it. Like, maybe it is a real thing between them guys. Yeah. I don't know. I'm discombobulated. Yasmin and Yulia talk about the double date they had the night prior. So Tommy and Lorenzo put out this little like waffle charcuterie board type thing on the terrace, and the girls were excited. Lorenzo was clowning Yasmin, being like, oh, have you ever had this before? Obviously not from you, but now you can do that for Yulia. Very telling. They also were both joking, Yulia and Lorenzo, about the journey that Lorenzo and Yasmin have had, and now they're here on a double date. So these two, clearly they could be jokesters and whatever. They struggle to read the room often, and they seem to be just a perfect fit. Yasmin definitely needed to be with somebody like Tommy. I think they make the most sense. Jasmine tells the girls that she does want to take a step back because Kavin is just not on the same page with her. In my mind, I was thinking, and if he said he doesn't want to take a step back, what are you going to do? Because that's what she did when he wanted to take an emotional step back. She was like, no, I don't accept. So wouldn't that be funny? Anyways, they play a game called Knowing Me, Knowing You. I'm only going to talk about the things that stuck out to me. The game was too damn long. Lorenzo and Tommy don't know their girls' middle names. All the guys have a higher body count than their girl. The highest at the moment was Simba. He was at 37. I was like, you know what? That's not bad. 37, okay. Then we got to Ethan. His is in the hundreds. I said, oh, unless I misheard, because I did mishear something. And then later I heard them say, oh, but you've slept with 100 girls. So I'm just like, damn, That's a lot. And then Aiden, he said he doesn't really keep count, but maybe it's in the 40s, something like that. Samraj says that he's probably liked more by the public. And then he says, honestly, it's neither of us. We're always in the bottom, so probably nobody likes us. Priya, Ethan, Kavan, and Jasmine both think that the other person is more liked by the public. Angelista would couple up with Tommy, Yulia with Aiden, Yasmin with Lorenzo, Mika with Simba, Jasmine with Lorenzo, and then obviously Priya with Aiden. Simba's love language is acts of service. That to me stuck out because the way the man was not complaining about being in the doghouse, and I have to give him props for that. Some guys complain, like, I'm sorry to bring in USA. The fact that the guys in USA were saying, oh, how long does Sincere have to suffer? When the man didn't even grovel to get Melanie back. Simba took being in the doghouse on the chin. He would make the girl all the things, do all the things. And like, it makes sense that his love language is acts of service. So I think it's also words of affirmation if we're being honest. Priya says that Ethan's height gives her the egg, but she says, listen, I have an image of being with a six foot something man, so that applies to Aiden too. It's not just Ethan. There's nothing that, these guys can do about that. The problem is that she just kept going on and on and on about, oh no, I don't expect you to change that. Well, he can't change that, mama. He can't. Like, she just kept talking, and I think it was Yulia who was like, yeah, less is more. Please, stop. Then we have Kavan, who has been with a 36-year-old. Samraj has been with a 40-year-old. And Aiden says he's not sure how old the lady was, but when he was 18, he thinks he was with a woman in her 40s. We really need to, show guys that some of the behavior no, that's not what I want to say. We need to show men that some of the experiences they've had is a sign of predatory behavior. That's what I mean to say. I get it. Guys are like, oh, older woman, whatever. 18 and she's 40. Predatory. Yulia thinks that her family would be concerned that Lorenzo's not loyal. Angie says Simba's wondering I would be a concern. Yasmin says how short she's been in a relationship with Tommy would be a concern. He says it probably would be his job because he works with a lot of women. I want to know what his job is. Jasmine says that, is it that she's opinionated or he's opinionated? I don't remember. But he says it's probably his wandering eye. Samraj and Mika both say that they struggle with commitment, so that's probably going to be a problem for both of their families. Yulia thinks Lorenzo is more emotionally invested. I said, oh, really? That one to me was interesting. I can't say that one is more than the other, so I would have thought that she'd be like neither or both, right? But for her to be like, no, I think it's Lorenzo, he just puts on a mask. That could be true. That could be true. Angie says that it's Simba. Simba does agree. Yasmin and Tommy put themselves, and Jasmine and Kavan say that it's Jasmine. He says it's because he's an overthinker. And then Mika and Samraj say that it is Samraj who's more emotionally invested. The winners were actually Mika and Samraj. And the losers were Yasmin and Tommy. Now, this is going to be a problem for Tommy because he doesn't like losing.
I'm actually pissed off.
I just don't like the fact that that's lingering. Everyone's seen how fucking genuine we are.
Yeah, it don't look great, mate, but you're fucked.
Shut up.
You console your boyfriend.
Boyfriend?
Yeah, you're mad.
What's wrong?
Oh, Aiden, shut up.
There was no need for Aiden. There was no need for Aiden to, one, clown Tommy when he's clearly feeling bad, and then two, bring in Yasmin because, Tommy was just trying to sort out his feelings and he's confiding in you to help him sort out his feelings. Why are you bringing in the girl? Leave her out of this for now, right? Anyways, fast forward to it was Aiden, Kavan, and Samraj in the bathroom. Kavan is saying, I feel like I should have answered the last question differently because I do have strong feelings for the girl. I do feel like I want to say I love her. I'm just in my head a lot. And in order to squash the confusion, I could have just said, I'm the one who's emotionally invested in this. So to me, I wasn't sure if he was saying that, yes, he is more in love. He does have stronger feelings. Or if he's saying, I don't want her to think that I'm not with her. Does that make sense? Samraj says he too wants to tell Mika that he loves her and he's glad that they won the challenge because it basically proves that their connection is genuine. And it also is a big FU to the public. Do we care? I don't think them saying I love you is going to change how the majority of the public feels about them as people or their connection. But hey, if they think this proves that, you know, their relationship will stand the test of time, then fine. Fast forward to Aiden having a conversation with Calvin and Tommy. He's basically like, listen, if you like this girl, go ahead and tell her. If you love this girl, go ahead and tell her. Stop living in your head and start living in the moment.
Your overthinking stopping you from being emotionally invested.
Makes it slower to get where she is.
Do you love her yet? Or
I think I do.
Yeah.
Nerves and emotions, you're overthinking, blah, 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 blah. You're like this, you're standing over the cliff. Just jump.
How trippy is it seeing Aiden, Calvin, and Tommy together? It like, they are variants of each other, and it is so trippy. It's incredibly trippy. Anyways, Jasmine was talking to the girls, and she was saying, you know, oftentimes in the challenges, she tries to make it about Calvin, and she wants to gas him up, and she would have wished that this time he would have taken a moment to gas her up. I do see what she's saying. Oftentimes with guys, you do just have to stroke that ego. It comes with dating men, child. However, I don't know. Like, a part of me feels like Jasmine would be losing her sense of self while being with Calvin. I think they both would. Honestly, I think they both would. I don't doubt their feelings for each other, but I think fundamentally they're just not compatible. And that could be a right now thing. Maybe, you know, Calvin needs a few more years. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe they need a break. I don't know what it is. But as they stand right now, I just don't see them being very compatible. But either way, Mika's like, you know what? I think he just struggles to articulate himself. I do think that is true. She says that she's having the same problem with Samraj, but she's the one who struggles to articulate herself. Like, Jasmine and Samraj are just so eloquent, and them not so much. So it's not that the feelings aren't there, they just struggle to say it. Then we have Aiden and Priya, who talk about how things are going. He asks if this is the deepest connection she's had so far. At first, she couldn't really answer. She was like, yeah, it's different. But then she was like, you know what? The connection with you is deeper because I haven't done this with anybody else. What is this? What did y'all do? Oh, God. Like, I cannot believe these two are a real couple. What is going on? Watch them stun everybody and be the couple that gets married. Like, stranger things have happened, guys. Stranger things have happened. Anyways, she then asks him, you know, what do you like about me? And he's like, oh, you already know. I hate when guys do that. I also do hate when girls constantly ask, what do you like about me? But I feel like that's just a natural Priya trait. Like, she needs her ego stroked. That's a real thing with her. He says, you're kind, you're compassionate, whatever. Then we see Calvin and Jasmine head up to the terrace because he's finally deciding to just bite the bullet and tell her how he really feels.
The overthinking thing, like, is a massive thing for me. I think I'm in love with you, Jazz.
You think or you are?
I am.
What do you mean you think?
I am.
But you're only saying it to put it to bed, or you really feel that, but you're sure? So you know that you love me? So what, you love me, now you're gonna always say I love you? I think I love you too.
So why don't we ever just say it to each other before then? I know deep down how I feel.
And what, you love me?
And I love you, Jazz.
I don't doubt these two's feelings for each other. I really don't. I do think that they have love for each other. It's hard for me to say that they truly love each other just because I think there's a lot with Calvin where he doesn't properly express himself. It could be that articulation thing that Mika was talking about. And then I also think that Jasmine is becoming smaller in order to accommodate Calvin, and that's a problem. But anyways, I have said these two need to, you know, put their issues on the table and sort it out. Him addressing his overthinking is a good thing. Her saying, you know, I have been feeling disappointed that you haven't expressed the feelings that I've been feeling for a long time now. These are all good things. So they're definitely headed in the right direction. Let's just keep this up. You know, when he said, I love you, he first said, I think I love you. And she was like, you think? And then he said, no, I do. And it took her a while to actually believe that what he was saying was what he was saying. Eventually, she did accept it. But I was like, I think you guys are telling on yourselves without even realizing. But like I said, they're on the right track. They're addressing things little by little. If they can keep that up and be more honest with each other, they have potential. Sunday's family day. We'll see how that goes. Simba and Angelista's is going to be the funniest because we've seen both of their brothers be on streaming platforms with people saying some stuff. So I'm interested to see what they're going to say on Family Day. As always, do I have plans on Sunday? My sister-in-law's birthday is on Monday, so I might not be here on Sunday. Just letting y'all know beforehand. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.